Dan Orlovsky from ESPN, a Baker Mayfield supporter. Today on Get Up, he had this to say about how the Baker Mayfield situation gets resolved.
Yeah, I think it gets resolved this week, and I think Baker Mayfield walks away as the steal of the NFL draft. You know, Greeny, I think of two things. Number one, what would this conversation be like if Baker Mayfield did not get hurt? Or when he did get hurt, sit out, get the surgery, and not try to play through that injury as much as we appreciate and admire it? Because the reality is the vantage point. Are you looking at Baker Mayfield as a player from 2021 or 2020? Because the last time we saw him healthy in 2020, he was top 10 in QBR, and he led the Browns to the playoffs with a defense that was bottom 10 in the NFL. He threw for 27 touchdowns and 8 interceptions that year in 2020. So if teams are going to look at Baker Mayfield through the vantage point of 2021, that's on them, because he was playing with multiple injuries and a torn labrum in his left shoulder. But if you're looking at him through the lens of 2020 and you sit there in this draft and you want a quarterback, if you're the Falcons or if you're the Panthers or you're the Saints or you're the Seattle Seahawks and you want a quarterback and you get to that third or fourth round and the guy that you don't want is there, and you sit there and say, I'm going to trade a fourth round pick for a guy that 4 years ago was the #1 pick of the draft, for a guy that 2 years ago led his team to the playoffs and was top 10 in the QBR, and you're going to trade a fourth-round pick for him? I understand the finances are what they are. That's above my brain power. But Baker Mayfield has the opportunity to walk away as the steal of the NFL draft.
Mary Kay Cabot, I see where he's coming from as far as if you told me to take one of those available quarterbacks for a team I wanted to do well, Baker Mayfield would be probably #1 on the list for this year immediately.
Well, you know, I mean, that remains to be seen. I watched Malik Willis at the Senior Bowl, and I really liked what I saw in him. The ball came off the hand very quickly. He was accurate. He was mobile. There were a lot of things that I liked about him. Now, is he going to turn out to be the next Josh Allen? We don't know that for sure. But when I walked away from that Senior Bowl, I saw enough to think that he's somebody that has some tremendous upside potential, very intriguing player, and I would have taken a chance on him if I were the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, they went in another direction, but you know, he does have that dual threat ability, which is the wave of the future, the wave of the present as well. So I don't know. I can't honestly say that, yes, Baker Mayfield would go out there and do a much better job for a team this year than Malik Willis can. Now, a lot of people don't think Malik Willis is polished enough to come in and start right away. They think that he needs at least a year. Well, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. A lot of those college players seem to be able to come in, and if they're in the right situation and they're put in the right situations and given enough to do that they can do well, a lot of them come in and they excel right away. But certainly, I think Baker Mayfield can help a team win. I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world at all for the Panthers to trade for Baker Mayfield, to plug him in and to let it rip and see what he can do.